Just gonna keep trying to listen. Oh. Good morning. This is just you guys. Welcome. Welcome to everybody at home watching live and watching later. This is our first live slow flow class at this time, 7:30 a.m. For those of you here in the studio, things are a little bit different. We don't play any music. That would be breaching copyright laws. Yeah. And I probably will not leave the mat. Yeah, so I'll be talking a lot to the camera, but apart from that, just a regular class. Yeah. So we'll start as we normally do, find a nice comfortable seat, and we use some essential oils of cedarwood and lavender with a little bit of peppermint to open up into the breath. So take a moment, just close down the eyes. Just send the arrows of attention inwards. Noticing what's going on in the body this morning. What's going on in your internal landscape. Internal landscape of the breath, of the mind, and the emotions. Without any judgment and without any attempt to change anything. Just using this as a reference point for the end of class when we check it again. For now, let's start to deepen the breath. Start with a nice full inhale through the nose, fill everything up. And then sigh out the mouth, let it go. For any reason you don't want to use the essential oils for your breath this morning, just leave your palms facing down. Otherwise, palms facing up. Once you feel the oils go into your hands, just gently rubbing them together. If you're at home or you're not using oils this morning, just sticking with your samavriti or even breath, matching the length of the inhale with the length of the exhale. If you are using the oils, gently drift the hands up in front of the face. And we will go with that same practice. Inhaling, matching the length of the inhale with the length of the exhale. So allowing the oils to drift in and out. Creating a softness, deepening of the breath, settling of the nervous system. And mentally to yourself, adding a count to the breath. And again, without trying to change anything, just taking note of the length of your breath. And if your breath count was a 4, try and deepen it to a 5. If it was a 5, go for a 6, and so on. Take 3 more rounds of breath. Once that is complete, taking any of your excess oil, taking it to your favorite spot for a little bit of self-massage, removing any of the residue from your hands. And then we'll start in a reclined position. So coming down into our Supta Baddha Konasana, today let's add the blanket. So we're going to take the blanket. If you don't have a blanket at home, you can roll up a towel. We'll take it and we'll roll it up so it's round about the length of the spine. And take you to the top of your mat. Set up your feet in your Baddha Konasana shape. Pull the blanket or the towel right into the low back. Just gently recline down over the blanket, finding the space where you start to open across the chest, getting some stretch into the pec minor, creating space. Just noticing the breath once again, noticing the movement of the breath, and noticing the shape change in the body. And see if you can notice the movement of the side ribs, the expansion on the inhale, contraction on the exhale. Still looking to find that nice even rhythm. And maybe you stick with your extra second long length. And again, let's take 3 more breaths here. Beautiful work, and from there, press the soles of the feet in towards each other, and then just start to gently draw the knees in. Feet can come flat on the ground, and then just roll yourself off to one side to come off the blanket. Beautiful. Bring yourself up and find a tabletop position. And we'll just start by moving through some cat-cow. So set up the knees so that they're underneath the hips, the wrists are under the shoulders, and then just start the movement through the spine, starting with a nice drop of the belly, lengthen through the crown of the head for your cow pose, space between shoulders and the ears. And then on the exhale, press and round through the upper back, finding your cat pose, feel the broadening across the shoulder blades. And then start to move, start to flow with your breath. Just finding your rhythm, the length that works for you, and try and let the breath initiate the movement. So let the change of breath happen half or 1 whole second before you start to switch the movement. One more full round. Finishing with your cat pose, and then settling into neutral tabletop. Ground down through the left hand, pick up the right arm, reach it tall. And then we're going to take that hand, sweep it through underneath, rather than bringing it to the ground, just hover it off the ground. And then inhale, bring it back up and over. Exhale, sweep it through, hover. Inhale, up and over. One more sweeping through. Once more up. And this time bring it down, come onto the side of the shoulder, the side of the head. And then adding any additional movement here. So you might like to add your bind, which is reaching this left arm around, tucking it in behind the thigh, or maybe just resting it on the low back. You might even like to add an extension to the leg. So it might be easier to come out of the bind if you went straight there, to move the leg first, and then return to the bind so that you stay nicely balanced. And then 3 breaths.
In this twisting position, trying to twist into the middle part of the back, the thoracic vertebrae. Trying to avoid any cranking or unnecessary twisting in the low back. Two more breaths here. And then slowly bring that top arm back over. Sweep the leg back if you extended it and come back up. Tabletop position, just rinse it out through one round of cat-cow. We'll go straight into the second side, ground down through the right hand, pick up the left arm. Sweep it through and underneath, find that hover. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sweep through. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sweep through. Last one, inhale, reach up. This time come down onto the side, resting into the pose. Side of the head, hand extended, maybe leg extended if that works for you. Maybe the bind around to the low back. Three breaths here. Noticing the quality of your breath when you're in this twist. Feeling the breath come much more into the back body, the side ribs. Top arm comes back over if it was bound, and then slowly bring yourself back, tabletop position. Again, rinse it through. And then from here, shuffle the feet a little bit wider, bring the big toes together to touch and sink down into a child's pose. But keep the arms active and the gaze forward. And then we're going to start to slowly walk yourself over to the left. Try and pick the belly up and then rest it on the thigh. The left hand slides down towards the left knee, pressing it down into the mat beside, and then maybe you creep this right hand a little bit further over. We're looking for that side body length and extension, and then maybe adding a gentle twist as you gaze towards the back of the room. And slowly coming back and walk yourself straight over to the other side. Once again, sliding that right hand down towards the right knee. Maybe creeping that left hand a little bit further over. And try and keep the left hip grounded down onto the left heel if you can. Last breath on this side. And then slowly bring it back through center. Rise up, tabletop position, just to tuck the toes as you lift into your downward facing dog. And then find some nice movement, pedaling out through the feet. And then settling into your stillness, making sure those index fingers are pointing straight ahead. The hands are set up pretty much in line with the shoulders, maybe slightly wider. Feeling that wrapping down of the triceps, feeling the activation through and underneath the armpits and up the sides of the body. And then any kind of bend in the knees that you need to find that length out through the back, through the spine, letting the head Sink down as you gaze back towards your thighs. From here, inhale, rise up onto the toes. And exhale, both heels go out towards the left, finding a twist. And then inhale, rise up onto the toes. Both heels go out to the right, twisting to the other side. Take that once more to each side. Beautiful work back through center. And then gazing towards the top of your mat. Just little steps. Walking yourself up into your standing forward fold. Feet can be hip distance. Nice bend in the knees to start with. Let the belly come to the thighs. Take opposite elbows and hang. And then feel a sense of your sitting bones lifting up towards the ceiling. You might even take hold of your hips and assist in tilting the pelvis. And starting to feel the length come into the backs of the hamstrings. You might find that length, that stretch without even straightening the legs. Hands come back to opposite elbows. 2 breaths here, just letting it sink and settle. And then release the arms, slowly curl up to stand. Send the bottom back just a little bit, ground down through the 3 points of the feet. Pick up the shoulder blades at the top, reach the arms nice and tall. And then gently draw the hands down through heart center. We'll move through some meditations with lunges, a few little add-ons as you inhale to reach. A little bend to the knees, exhale to fold. Hands find the shins halfway lift, nice flat back. Then knees bend, hands plant, step the right foot back, drop the right knee to the mat. Inhale, rise up. And then for a moment, just take the hands to the hips once again and feel that pelvic tilt. Notice what happens when you tilt the pelvis backwards and when you tilt the pelvis forwards. Find a place where you're feeling the length through this front right hip flexor, and at the same time not putting any compression in the low back. Find that sweet spot and then reach the arms up. And notice, bring the arms back down. Notice as you reach the arms up, you feel a little bit more length through that front hip flexor as well. One more inhale. Exhale, hands frame the foot, tuck the back toes, step back, downward facing dog. Ripple forward, find a high plank position, shoulders stack over the wrists. Drop the knees to the mat, untuck the toes, lower forwards and down to the mat. Lift up, baby cobra, hover the hands, pull the elbows into the side body, shoulders down the back. Beautiful, plant the hands, lower the forehead, and then press into the knees to tuck the toes, pull yourself back to a child's pose briefly. And then lift up, downward facing dog. And then inhale the right leg high, step that right foot through. Drop the left knee to the mat, inhale, rise up. And once again, exploration of the hips, little tilt, rock back and forth. Might not be a huge range of motion, just exploring, finding that sweet spot. And you notice the feeling as you reach the arms. Can you ground down a little bit more through the front heel, pull it back underneath you just a touch. One more inhale. And then exhale, frame the foot. This time we're stepping forward into a forward fold. So lift the back knee and step. Fold over the legs. Inhale, rise up. Reach nice and tall. Maybe a gentle press of the hips forward, adding a subtle back bend. And then hands through half. Sweep it through as we start. Once again, another round, starting on the left this time. Exhale as you fold. Hands to shins, half lift. Knees bend, hands plant, left foot steps back first this time, left knee to the mat. Inhale, rise up. Nice, full breath, and maybe sink a little deeper. See if you can move the pelvis without the use of the hands and find that sweet spot where there's length, there's space in the low back. You're still getting that extension through the front of the hip flexor. Hands come down on the next exhale breath, frame the foot and step into your downward facing dog. On the inhale, ripple forward. Drop the knees and lower down on the exhale, coming forward as you lower down to the mat. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra, hover. Extend through the crown of the head. Plant the hands, let the head drop, and then draw yourself back. Child's pose briefly. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Lift the left leg high on the inhale. Step it through. Low lunge once again, dropping that back knee. Reach the arms up. Find that sweet spot with your pelvis. Ground down through the front heel. One more inhale breath, gazing up. And then exhale, frame the foot, this time stepping forward. Find your forward fold, top of the mat. Inhale, curl it up. Reach nice and tall. Exhale, hands through heart. Beautiful. Sweep the hands through. Reach out once again. Inhale. You start to fold over the legs as you exhale. Inhale, nice flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, refold. And then set yourself up. You might take a little bend in the knees, or you might even bring in a block. You're going to take a twist from here. So you want to get your right hand to start with flat on the mat or flat on a block. And then grounding down through the right hand, you might take a bend in the right knee as you start to peel open, lifting that left arm up towards the ceiling. And if this is just too intense on the shoulder, maybe just keep it at an angle. Find a place that feels like a twist for you through the middle part of the back, thoracic spine. Nice, and then slowly bring it down as we switch sides. Switch the bend in the knees, ground down through the left hand and peel open the right arm. One more to each side, just moving with your breath. Nice. Exhale to come down. Inhale to open up. Exhale to come down. Inhale to open up. And then exhale to come down. Forward fold, slide the block out of the way. Halfway lift. And then knees bend, plant the hands and step back to your downward facing dog. Nice full breath here. Inhale, pick up the right leg. Find your way to a scorpion dog, bend the knees, stack open the hip. And then from your scorpion dog, just little movements through the foot, rolling out through the ankle. And then find some activation, really ground down through the hands. Point through the toe. See if you can lift the knee a little higher. And then start to find movement with that knee. Start to draw that knee through, across, underneath the body. Draw the knee all the way towards the right wrist. And find your way to Pigeon Pose. Drop the shin to the mat. Extend that back leg back. Make sure that back leg is nice and straight. And then find a position where there's absolutely no pain in that knee. So that might mean pulling the heel in tight. That might mean bringing the foot around so that the shin is parallel and you prop yourself up. So propping up on a blanket or a block. Beautiful. And we'll add a gentle twist to the pigeon today. So I like to have my heel in when I'm twisting. Starting with the right hand in the center, the left arm reaches over and back. Gazing at that back foot. The breath is full and deep. And if it feels good, you can add on the quad stretch. Taking hold of the foot, drawing the heel in towards the buttocks. And try and stay in the twist. Gazing back. If you have any other variations and feeling nice and open and warm today, feel free to take them. And slowly release. Slowly set yourself square to the mat. And then just start to come down to about halfway and press into the floor. And then we'll start to walk the hands over to the left. And then lower down from here, finding a twist once again into this pigeon pose. Three breaths. Sinking in. Your mind's drifting away. Bring your attention back to your breath. Slowly rise back up. Ease your way back through center. Just a little gentle counter twist to the other side. And then lean onto this right hip. Take away any props that were there. Sweep this leg all the way around towards the front. And setting up for our single leg forward fold. So that left leg staying nice and straight and long. Pull the right heel in towards the midline. Find some energy pressing down through this right knee. And we'll add a twist to this pose as well. So starting with your left hand back, reach the right arm up. Gaze over the back shoulder. And then send the gaze towards the outside edge of that front foot. Start to extend the arm towards it. Maybe it lands on the shin, the thigh. Maybe you can reach the foot. And then gently settling into the fold. Look for the length out of the low back. Feel free to prop yourself up if you need to. And then you might reach this back hand around for the opposite side of the foot. So you've got this nice crisscross grip. If that just doesn't work for you, switch to regular grip. But otherwise, 2 more breaths. Inhale to slowly rise up. Take a moment with the hands planted down behind you, lift the chest. And then pick up this knee. Take the foot across the body. Or add a twist from here if you like to deepen it, or you just like to set up with the legs this way, feel free to bring the heel in underneath. And then start with the left arm, wrap it around so that the elbow is wrapping around the knee, And I like to start with an interlace, so pulling the knee in towards the midline. You start to feel the grounding down through the sit bones, and then allowing a subtle shift of the pelvis as you start to find the twist from the mid-back. You might send the gaze towards the back. You might take the hand back for a little bit more support. And if you'd like to deepen the pose, you can take the elbow across that front knee, finding Ardha, Matsyendrasana, or our half Lord of the Fishes pose. One more breath here. And then a gentle counter rotation to the other side as you release. Slowly take it across. And then in your own creative fashion, making your way back to downward facing dog. So you might lean back, untuck the legs, and make your way there, or you might come forward and step back. If you'd like to rinse it through a flow, feel free. Coming forward, knees down. Find that baby cobra. Back through your child's. And up into downward facing dog. Beautiful. From your downward facing dog, pick up the left leg, reach it tall. Then the knees stack, open the hip. And just start to explore movement through the foot, rolling out through the ankle. And then pause for a moment, really point through the foot. See if you can lift the knee a little higher. Keep grounding down through the hands. And then slowly start to drift that knee through underneath the body. And then bring it over towards the left wrist. Setting up pigeon pose once again. Beautiful. Set yourself up. Find that place where your hips feel nice and square. Feel stable. Starting with a twist, left hand down, right arm reaches over and back. Nice straight back leg. Grounding down through the hands. Feel length out through the crown of the head. And then if you went there, adding in your quad stretch. And as you're really slowly releasing, re-square yourself towards the top of the mat. And then start to walk the hands towards halfway down. Press down into the mat. Feel the hips squaring and settling. Feel the activation through the outer glute, the outer hip. And then start to walk yourself over to the right towards that foot. And then maybe you come down onto the forearm. Maybe you come down all of the way. Just check in with your body, see how it feels in this twisted reclined pigeon. Three more breaths. Beautiful. Slowly bring yourself back up. Removing any props if you use them. Ease your way over to the left so you can sweep that right leg all the way around. Sitting up, single-legged forward fold. Now, Janu Shirsasana. You might like to bring in the blanket, prop yourself up. And then once again, we'll add the twist. So start with the right hand coming back, lift the left arm up, gaze over the shoulder. And then take that arm across the leg. Maybe it's the shin, thigh, or if you can reach the foot, taking hold. Feel the energy pressing down through that left knee, and then that top arm might reach around for your crisscross grip. Gently sinking into the fold, always looking for length out of the low back, activation through the legs, like you're pressing out through the heel and flexing the foot. 3 breaths here. And then as you're ready, slowly coming up. Little ease back, open the chest. Beautiful, and then we'll come into our twist. So pick up this knee, take the foot across your leg. And if you took the variation, bending through the knee, you can always leave it extended if you need to. Right arm wraps around, feel that elbow crease connect to the knee, interlace of the fingers and length. Feel the length of pickup will reach through the crown of the head. At the same time, grounding down through both sit bones, so feeling that pelvis secure down into the mat. The more you resist by pressing the knee into the forearm into the knee, the more you might feel some opening through the outer hip. And then starting to add the twist, turning the shoulders. And maybe you take this left hand back, maybe you lift the right elbow and take it across. And rather than using it to pry yourself open and pry yourself further into the twist, which tends to come into the low back, use it as a pressing down to grow tall. The inhale breath grows you taller, and the exhale breath turns you using the abdominal muscles, turning the shoulders, and then maybe gazing over the back shoulder. And slowly releasing out of the twist, take yourself in the opposite direction, counter twist. Beautiful. And then back through center. This side, just lean back, release the legs. Give them a little shake. Send the arms forward. And then start to lower yourself down gently to the mat, slow as you can. If you're still trying to reach for the feet the entire time, maybe you can stop. And then keep going all the way to your back. Beautiful. Take a moment. Nice full breath here. And then checking in with what your body is asking for. Slide the heels in towards the butt, with the feet coming back onto the ground. And if you'd prefer to have a supported bridge to finish, you're going to slide in a block. And just be here, supported bridge, 5 full deep breaths. If you'd like to take it as a waterfall, always your option. If you prefer it active, keep the block out to the side, set up the feet so they're lined up pretty much with the hip sockets. Ground down through the heels, ground down through the shoulders and the hands, planted down next to the hips. Inhale, lift those hips up. And you might just be here today. If there's space, interlace the fingers. Ground down through the hands. If there's more space, shoulders tuck underneath. Finding your bridge pose. Keep it nice and active. Notice what it feels like to drift the knees a little bit further forward. See if you can soften the gripping of the glutes. Use a little bit more low belly to keep yourself up. One more full breath if you're still here. And then slowly lowering down at the shoulders. Release, let the hands release, one vertebrae at a time, all the way down to the mat. Beautiful. Take a moment, feel the low back ground. And then extend the left leg long. Draw the right knee in towards you gently. Take hold of the right knee with the left hand. And then start to draw that right leg across to the left, finding your spinal twist. And then allow the shoulder to come up off the mat today. Allow the pelvis to move all the way over, and then you might shuffle so that the hip tucks in underneath and the knee comes all the way to the ground. Extend your left arm out, and then bring your right hand over on top of your leg. Nice, and then from this position, inhale, open that right arm over behind you, taking it to a point that feels opening through the chest, twisting through the mid-back. And then bring it back on top of the hand. Inhale, open up. Exhale, bring it back. One more, inhale, open up. Exhale, bring it back. Beautiful. Slowly return to your back, sliding that hand back over as you bring the knees back over. And then switching sides. Left knee draws in, right leg extends long. Right hand takes the left knee across the body. And then take it all the way over. Allow the shoulders to lift, the hips to lift. Allow that knee to come all the way to the mat. Maybe shuffle the hips underneath. Extend your right arm out, bring your left hand over, place it on top. And then inhale, open up, open out to the left. Exhale, bring it back over. Inhale, open up. Exhale, bring it back. One more, big open up. And then let it come all the way back. And then bring yourself back to your reclined position. Take any final movement you need, adding on any extra layers if you need them. And then settling in to your Shavasana shape. Closing the practice in this pose of surrender, letting everything settle and ground down into the mat. Letting go of any conscious control of your breath. Allowing things to sink and settle. Thoughts have drifted off. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Continue to surrender the body into the mat. If you're at home and you'd like a longer Shavasana,
Feel free to stay exactly as you are. If you're here with me in the studio, that's our 45 minutes for the morning. Start to bring some awareness back into the physical body, wriggling through the fingers and the toes. Gently make your way over through one side, taking anything you need along the way, stretch your yawn. And then slowly come up, find your way to a comfortable seat. You can leave the hands resting on the lap or draw them in towards heart center of the chest. Gently bowing the head towards your hands in honor of yourself and in honor of your practice this morning, or whatever time of day it is. Take a nice full inhale through the nose. Sigh it all out the mouth, let it go. Thank you so much for sharing your time, your energy, and your practice with me this morning. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste. Thank you, team. Thank you at home. Thanks for watching. Plenty more videos. Feel free to click like or subscribe to see more and more of this. If you subscribe, you will get an email telling you when we go live if you want to practice live with us. Thanks very much.